Hello, Gordy here with West Coast Saw. I was just getting ready to load up all my gear, and I thought I would go over what my gear looks like and how I got my stuff set up. It's kind of nice to always look at other guys' setups so you can kind of get ideas of what works for yourself and so on. I just kind of learned all this as I went along. I never was a faller, but I learned how to fall a little bit here and there, and enough to go out and test my parts without getting killed. So I just kind of took little parts and pieces from everybody and saw what they were wearing and kind of put together what works for me, but thought I would share with you guys. Might be helpful for somebody trying to set up your gear. So I run a 500 most of the time unless I'm testing another saw. That's a 32-inch bar. I usually run a 36, but we're tree lengthening tomorrow, so I'm just running a 32. But I like the Cannon bar in a 36, and I usually run a still lightweight on a 32 because I like the Cannon being stiffer on the 36. It's a little bit stiffer than the still lightweight, but the still lightweight is phenomenal bar. So I prefer that on the 32, but I run a full skip chisel ground chain, most time Oregon. Nothing wrong with still chain, I just always pick Oregon, I just prefer it. So that's an old set of whites there that were hand-me-down boots. And then of course I got my hard hat. It's an old 6-point, and we sell these liners on our website. And you can fix up these old McDonald's really nice and wear them once again, you know. Fix up an old grandpa's hard hat or dad's hard hat or whatever. We got the liners to fix it. So those are kind of cool. They sit kind of low on your head, which is kind of an old school style look, you know. But you can find these helmets on eBay. There's a ton of them available on there. So if you're ever looking for an old school helmet, that's where to get them. And then my axe, I personally run 4-pound. This is my favorite axe, just 4-pound rafter. This is a Satyr Banco. This is kind of a rare head here, but the handle was put together by my good friend Garrett Austin, and he handmade that handle for me. So it's about 27 inches from top to bottom. That's kind of the sweet spot for myself, what I like to run. And if I'm in bigger timber, I'll grab a 5-pound plumb rafter or something of that sort. I have a bunch of Strohs, but I always seem to grab the Satyr Banco because this was my buddy's axe that passed away and has a special spot in my heart. But the other gear I wear is our Wedge Pouch, and those are 12-inch wedges in there, and they fit nice and tight. There's lots of room in the bottom to let the chips out if you're, cutting and you don't have that in the bottom. These wedge pouches will get filled up full of chips real fast and becomes a pain. The tools fit on the side. You got your screwdriver, and that's just a handmade ratchet wrench. And these are our handmade belts that we have available also on the website. I run a Grizzly Peak axe scabber. I believe this is like their biggest one. I think it's like 8 1/4, but you can measure the head of your axe and figure out which one you need. There's several different sizes that you can choose from depending on what size the head of your axe is, of course. But shoulder pads are from Grizzly Peak also, and I have a whistle on there in case you ever get in a bad situation and you need to holler at your buddy. You can alarm someone, get you help. My other buddy Mike built me this walkie-talkie holder. And this is just a Midland. You can get these online anywhere, and I zip tied it to my rig there. Spencer tape, these are basic. You can get these pretty much anywhere. And my piggies, these are Gatorade bottles. You're good for a fill up there on your oil, and a little more than a tank in here. And I just did the quick clip there with the turnbuckle that goes through the hole. And the reason I did that was when you're trying to flip it back onto your belt, it's kind of hard to find that hole. So this is a lot bigger area, which made it really nice. So you can just kind of do it blind once you get used to it. But that there is my rig that I got. Sometimes I carry 4 wedges. Most of the time, if I'm in smaller timber, I just carry 3, and the wedges are in there real nice. The other thing I got here is a fuel jug. These are obviously not available anymore, which is a sad thing because these are great. And on mine, I took the original phony filler lids and cut them off, and these are top of Gatorade bottles, and they just got cut off there, and then that thing just screwed down on there, and these are Gatorade caps. Works really nice. And then this leather holder here, got that built. Sandwiches the tank. And my buddy Garrett also built that along with the axe. And then I was like, well, I'd like to have a bag on the side of my gas can. So I kind of looked around online, and I found actually in military, like tactical bags, this one here was available, and it's got all these little pouches in here to hold all your stuff. I got, you know, your wrenches, I got extra bolts, more screwdrivers, extra chain, my gloves, even got my lunch, top ramen, glasses, earplugs. Made it really nice, and that tactical bag went onto that leather really nice. It don't come off, and you can throw the shoulder strap over your, you know, one side, and you can actually carry your jack with your left hand, throw your saw over your right shoulder, and this thing just rides on your back. It's not even bad at all. Garrett did a good job on this, and hold your wrenches and your tools. But anyway, that's kind of my setup, what I usually run with, and hope that helps somebody that's trying to figure out what works for them. Planned a little more of this video maybe. We just walked out on the strip. It's Sunday morning, Mike and I, and I was gonna kind of show you how my gear looks on me and everything like that, so you can kind of see more of it on the person, make your choice. But we'll take a look at Mike's gear too.
I'll start ahead of you down over here with the tree with the bent top in it, and I'll take the high side. You can start here on the low side, work your way back up through. That way when I cut the top side and they roll down, they don't high stump you out.
Want to take a look at your gear? Turn this radio off here. Mike runs a similar gear to what I do. He doesn't wear the shoulder harness, but he wears a shoulder pad. And
yeah, so my pad stays fixed, whereas his are attached to the belt here. I run the same Grizzly Peak scabbard as him. Same wedge pouch. Certain jobs I'll run 4, some I'll run 3. Same piggy here, gas, bar, oil. My belt's a little different. I got smaller hips and smaller legs than a lot of guys, so the leather ones tend to push in on the buttons a lot more on mine and hurt my hips. So I was at a yard sale and I found this. It's actually a set of framing bags from an old carpenter. The strap, however, is the same as the leather that those guys wear, so it fits through everything perfectly.
2-inch.
2-inch. It just has more padding. So I have the inner pad and then the belt.
Yeah, so that's really nice having that pad around your waist. But like everybody always talks about Wedge Pouch, but they never discuss belts. But belts are actually like your foundation of your rig, because if you don't have a good belt, your Wedge Pouch is all over the place and you're just uncomfortable the whole day. But
I've ran a few different Wedge Pouches. This is West Coast Saws. This one actually sits up higher than a lot of the other ones. A lot of the felt ones will hang lower, and you bang a few wedges or you lean down to look at a face cut and your wedges are going to go everywhere and you'll lose them. So this is probably the best one I found.
and they sit pretty high on the belt, so they don't tip over, because that's a 12-inch wedge, so it's way down in there. And then, you know, you got your other ones are your quick draws right on the outside there.
And then I just run axe handle made by Garrett. I run a 5-pound Norland head. Top of my axe, I don't hit every time, so I put a chunk of leather with some tape in there to absorb a lot of the impact, to keep my handle lasting a little bit longer so it don't blow apart.
Why are you missing? You're not supposed to do that, buddy.
When you're in the throes of passion, sometimes you miss. I run a 500, still lightweight bar, chisel chain. That's just my go-to saw. Same setup here. Bar, oil, gas. I've actually been able to find these here and there. They don't make them here in the U.S. no more. They don't sell them off the shelves. Plastic, they do sell the metal ones, but they don't sell these plastic anymore. Then I keep chains, tools, sandwich in there. Other than that, my rig is about the same as Gordy's is. I made these, and then I have the West Coast 6-point liner in this hat. They do sell new ones, new hard hats, but that are not 6-point, and they sit way up on your head and you look like a goofball. So I just use those. Leather front pants.
You got liners in your pants too?
I do. Yeah. I have chappies on the inside. Yep. This is just strictly curb appeal.
And I run the same. We buy our pants at Madsen's, and they have buttons sewed into them, and then your liner slides inside. So
yep.
It's a lot nicer than carrying big. Probably not as much, you know.
It's a lot less. You're less likely to fall. I tend to fall and screw up a lot more when I have chaps on, because I have straps, I have clips, I have everything out here. It's just so bulky. So for me, I get the same safety factor with the chap inserts as I do with the chap on the outside, and it's just a lot more convenient. Same price for the jeans, and the chaps is the same price as a full set of chaps.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. We better get cutting. Waiting on Mike a little bit here. He's got to cut this high side, and I'll send this big fur up the draw. But anyway, I was gonna say, on these belts, on our belt, they have 2 layers of leather, and on the inside, this leather's soft, and on the outside, it's veggie tan. Super durable. And then, see if I can move the camera around. So I was gonna say, our belt has all these holes in it, so you can locate wherever you want. You can move your tape wherever you want, or your suspenders, or however you like it. And we do have a roller buckle on there, which is very nice. Mike looks like he's ready to roll. Let her go, Mike. Anyway, we got to get to work. Time to have some fun. lots and lots of small blowdown garbage. Yahoo! I'd say she's getting a little steeper, Mike.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so, Gordy.
Got a little rock bluff up here. We're almost there.
They're in that log.
Yeah, they're in that log. I just got stung big time. I was putting a face into that little guy, and they're right in that log right there by my saw. I looked down and there's like probably 15 of them on my right hand.
Really?
Oh yeah, I started smashing them and running. Mike's getting them with that bee killer. So I got stung last trip out here, and then Mike got it, and now it's my turn again. We're almost done and just running into bees. That's half of the battle, I guess. What do you think, boss?
I'll leave it.
We'll smash it. I ended up coming back here, pushing 2 of those trees into that one where the bees are. Mike's gonna go get my wedge. What a good partner. Is it down the hill? Don't see it? Oh man, there's bees. They're flying all around here.
All right, let's see that hand.
I got stung there. and the wrist right here.
Oh yeah.
Look at that hand. I thought he got me under here, but it doesn't look like it's swelling at all.
Let's see, make a fist. Oh yeah. Hold that shot. You can see it, right? Look at the difference.
It feels like the sting went in right there. It's all fluid. What kind of bees are those?
Hornets.
God, they're brutal. Rolling out of here for the final time. Hell of a view.
It is.
Oh, good morning. It's Monday morning. Making my way down to the shop here, and I made it through the night. I survived the bee stings. She's a little bit swelled. Crept down my arm all the way to my elbow, itching like hell, but I got a load of Grizzly Peak stuff in the mail on Saturday, so I figured I'd show you guys like our aluminum wedge pouch that Grizzly Peak makes and how the different style wedges fit in there. It's a nice choice besides the leather also. We're happen to be packaging today. There's Russ, he's packaging. Say hello, Russ.
How's it going?
So let's see if we can go over that. So these are the three options that we have from Grizzly Peak. These are called wedge scabbards. And if you look inside of here, this one here is made for 3 wedges, and these are made for 4. And the cool thing about these are these little holders inside pinch the wedges, so you can actually like stab them down in there, and you can hold them upside down and these things won't come out. But they work very well. And if you're running smaller wedges, you can put the smaller guys in the littler one. But basically it's got the dimensions on the website. 3 7/8 would be the width of your wedge, and you wouldn't want to go like super wide wedge, because when you're trying to stab it in there, it's kind of hard to hit the hole. But if you got a little bit of room for your wedge, the biggest one here, these are monsters. This is like a 12-inch double taper, and there's the Madsen's 12-inch. But most guys don't run these big wide lips. And then on the Madsen's, they're a little bit loose in my opinion. So I like to run the middle ones. Really perfect for these. And you can fit a 10-inch, you know, if you're running smaller in the front. So these are a good option, and any 2-inch belt will fit through these also. So, but you can kind of see the size difference of these compared to the wedge pouch. These are nice and short. They don't quite hang down on your leg as much. There's your wedge pouch, and these sit really high up on the belt because your belt's going to be right there. So it's kind of nice having it high to where your leg doesn't move. But if you get a 12-inch wedge in there, sometimes you can hit your elbow when you're working, and that kind of gets uncomfortable too. So just kind of wanted to show you that, what the options are and the differences. So it's kind of hard to see online sometimes what to buy because there's a bunch of stuff, but those are the options that we have. And I'm kind of new to this YouTube stuff, so we're just kind of going to come on here more and speak about our products and what we have to offer, and our feedback on what's available in the market. And then you guys can make your choice and kind of help people out a little bit. If you have any suggestions for our channel and you want to see anything, please let me know. And any of this stuff is available on our website, westcoastsaw.com. Thank you.